This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now here's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC. Breaking news, WABC.
And some sad news, everybody, from the world of sports. Greg Gumbel, legendary sportscaster, has passed away at the age of 78 after a battle with cancer. It just came out a little bit ago. And of course, we were talking earlier about Dick Parsons, too. Of course, the great banking executive and media executive. Time Warner, what a great guy he was, too.
Great CEO, turnaround, managing partner of our law firm.
Yeah, well, and he passed away. We just got the word yesterday that he passed
76.
away, too. So young, 76 and 78,
He had been ill for a long time.
Yes.
And still managed to get some things done. He really, every time there was a major board, you saw his name.
Yeah, you did. That's true. And so also a great philanthropist, too. And Greg Gumbel, too, did so much in the philanthropy, too. Anyway, our thoughts and prayers with both of those just great, great souls. And joining us now to talk about what's going on in the world of Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal, all topics that President Trump has been talking about, is Brigadier General Blaine Holt. General, I got to ask you about Greenland, because Trump keeps talking about Greenland, saying we got to get Greenland for national security. What are your thoughts as an expert in national security?
Well, Happy New Year to everybody, and I want to first congratulate Governor Patterson on his run for mayor.
Hey, bravo! Bro, you could be his military advisor.
Thank you, General.
I'll be the military advisor. Not a problem.
I may need you when I go there.
You got me.
I'll give him your number after the show, okay?
So I'll just say that I believe Greenland's going to cost us more than the $3 million we spent on Alaska. It's a little bit bigger. I think what you're looking at here is a really nice way for Trump to say we recognize how vulnerable we are in a world of hypersonics weapons and very little time to decide what you're going to do if you're being attacked. And we can ill afford to have any type of military force oriented against the United States using Greenland as a geographic possibility. And so his overture, which he opened up 2016 with, to say maybe we ought to buy it, that's a very traditional Trump negotiating style. Just punch first into the face and then see what the reaction is and then smile and say, hey, let's work it out. Maybe we can get to some agreement. And I think that's what we'll see in this case, which is going to be NATO activities, security guarantees, no interaction from China. And then if you expand that out to Panama and Canada, what you're looking at is President Trump is actually really greatly interested in reestablishment of the Monroe Doctrine, especially as it would apply to China, Iran, and adversaries of the United States.
Ed Cox.
Yeah, Blaine, the Panama, China's obviously involved there. How much of a security threat is that to the United States?
It's a massive security threat in a variety of ways. First off, you have four major choke points in this world, of which the Panama Canal is one, where if you shut these things down, meaning Panama Canal, Suez Canal, Malaccan Straits, the Cape of Good Hope, you then effectively shut down the economy of the United States. We know that. The Chinese have used their Belt and Road Initiative, basically payday loans for countries to build infrastructure projects, as a way to co-opt and corrupt governments all over the world. And I'm not suggesting that the new Panamanian governor or the new Panamanian president is in any way, shape, or form co-opted. He's actually a very good partner. But what I would say is that China is very interested in logistically choking us off. It's a preference for them. The Panama Canal is something that they took up shop in and took an interest in immediately when President Carter had surrendered it. And now it's gotten very serious, where the Chinese basically decide what goes through that ditch and what doesn't. It's also been horribly mismanaged, overly built, and now we have severe engineering limitations on getting shipping and cargo through there, and the Chinese are largely to blame. So I certainly understand the focus on that, and I understand that we cannot live in an environment where strategic interests or vital interests of the United States are in any way co-opted, and at the same time, these wars of choice overseas, or wars that get created because we're not minding the store or showing leadership, that's where President Trump wants to get us out of.
You know, one of the things you were talking about, sort of the blockade and all the issues with, tied to the canal, I'm thinking about also, General Blaine Holt, the issue, what's going on still in the Red Sea. This is something that we talk about a lot here with, and the fact the Houthis are out there. I can't believe a ragtag group. I mean, it's incredible. I'm glad that Israel is finally saying we're going to take out the Houthi leadership. It's stunning the damage that they have caused vis-a-vis Iran, who controls them in the Red Sea. All the blockades. Think about the damage to shipping and life, and that they've been able to just go on because of this president, this current president, President Biden.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And from Ukraine down to Sana'a, we see the fingerprints of Blinken and Sullivan all over these places, who bypass good planning and strategy advice from the Defense Department, taking things into their own hands, and essentially parroting all the same actions that McNamara did during the Vietnam War. Here's incremental weapons. We'll throw money at things. We won't have a strategy. And then what we'll do is severely tie the hands of our military commanders so that they're micromanaged and they can't really take any initiative whatsoever. And what that looks like is what we've seen, which is a United States Navy that looks or appears optically like it's a peer to the Houthis, when nothing could be further from the truth. If you gave us the mission and said, remove the Houthis,
72
we would
hours.
do that. And it would be very, very quick. And the way we would do that is we would eliminate their supply lines first. That means no Russian hypersonics or advanced weaponry into their hands. That means no Iranian advisors to help them fire these weapons. But look at Israel. They've just taken care of two proxies. Here's the third. Iran is likely next. The Ayatollah is weakened. You've got a rising threat in what Erdogan created in Syria. And as bad as this all looks, it's actually better than it has been. So I'm very optimistic and hopeful for this region, but there is going to be some rough days ahead before we get to better ones.
Well, General, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for our country and continue to speak out for our country. And we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Thank you, and good luck with the campaign.
Thank you, General.
I'm applying for
my number one
campaign
supporter
manager.
now.
You are? You're going to apply?
Yeah,
I'll
yes.
be press secretary.
All right.
How about that?
All right.